What's up YouTube, Dal here from F4 Games, and today we are bringing you a locals duel, and this is the semi-final stage. So both of these players are XO after 3 rounds. This is round 4. So we've got Earth Machines on the right hand side versus Sword Soul on the left hand side. We start off with Mechana redeployment, and it looks like he's discarded, I can't quite see which one that is. It's either the level 12, which is mad, but he's definitely added the gear. I keep in mind that I'll have to zoom out the camera a little bit more on this one. But he's definitely added gear frame, normal summon gear frame. Now, I really like Earth Machines. I think there's a lot that they can do now. He's now special summoning, I believe it is the sniper that lets you Foolish Burial. So it's like one of the cards, it's like when it's added to the hand, you can special summon it and then you Foolish Burial on Mechana from the deck, which is great because straight away that sets you up your Citadel play. And Citadel is like one of the best floating boss monsters around, in my opinion. So he's going to Veiler that to stop that happening. Which, I mean, it ultimately doesn't do a huge amount to this deck. This is why this deck's just got so much better. And then you add Regulus to it, it doesn't even need to worry about Nibiru. So, detaching material of a Giga X, and then that lets you search out Harvester. Now, I know a lot of you are like, whoa, how are you getting Harvester to the board? Well, there's a lot of ways to do it. We start off with Regulus. Regulus target Gear Frame, and then Gear Frame can just special summon itself. Broken. Crazy little bit of synergy there. Then we go into Silver Gadget. Silver Gadget is going to let you special summon down Harvester. Now, at this point, you're protected from Nibiru, pretty much. Unless they like Nibiru Imperm or Nibiru Caught By or DD Crow, I don't know, just ways of stopping it. But basically, you go Harvester, you get Dozer, you get Trencher, you get both of those, you get River Stormer. River Stormer that gives you like a free search, and then the deck just goes mad from this point on. I really like it. So I definitely want to try and put it together myself. It's basically the addition of the Furions or Regulus more times than not. Just gives the deck so much more protection. It gives them a boss monster. It's crazy good. So link off River Stormer into Goliath, and then you can bring Goliath back on top of a link monster, which is going to be the Silver Gadget. Special summon down Bullet because you only control Earth Machines, and because Bullet was special summoned, you get to summon down Dora, Derricrane, sorry, and you overlay both of those into Dora, and Dora becomes this insane towers that can detach material, target a monster you control. It's unaffected by card effects for the rest of the turn. So, especially when it's got Derricrane as well, like when you detach that material, you get a free pop. Like, this board's crazy. Obviously, there are ways around it. There are ways to deal with it. So, it's not like the most unbreakable board ever. But it's still really cool that that came off of Mechana redeployment. He's obviously got the Trencher play as well. You go into Ancient Gear Ballista, which gives you Box and Drill. I know, Box and... What's the other one? What's one missing? Tunneler? I believe Tunneler's the draw one. Oh, this is where you just replenish your entire hand. So once you've got 5 Earth Machines on board, you tribute off the Ancient Gear, summon down Tunneler, turn Tunneler into Goliath, and then you banish Tunneler to target 5 machines in the graveyard, shuffle them into the deck and draw 2, which is absolutely nuts because it regains all your resource, and then all of the link monsters, so like the Goliaths that you've gone through to get to where you need to be, just all go back into the extra deck. So the idea is, or the ideal scenario is, you put 5 extra deck monsters back into the deck, and you just draw 2 fresh brand new cards. The deck could be played very heavily control, but I feel with the modern game, you kind of want the hand traps. So a lot of people are swapping out the traps that they used to play for the hand traps now. So like your Ashes, your Imperms, your Veilers. Oh yeah, not to mention Fortress. Fortress is just absolutely crazy. The fact that it contributes itself and then obviously another monster is, yeah, bonkers. So he's got one set. He's got an Omni-Negate with Regulus, and then he's got a Dora that can make itself unaffected. So the only thing that really turns this board off is if he waits until main phase and then gets like Dark Rulered. But then you still got to deal with like a 4K Dora, a 2800 Regulus, and if you've got a Citadel in the graveyard, you destroy any of those, Citadel's going to come back. So start off with Vishuda. Vishuda got a special summons itself, goes into Monk. Obviously, Vishuda can now bait out a form of interruption, which is why Vishuda's so good. Target the Regulus. It'd be interesting to see. Oh, okay, it lets the Regulus go back to hand. I mean, it's fine. If he's kept the Gear Frame in the grave, then free summon next turn, bro. Normal summon Moyi. Broken. Imperm. I don't need my Regulus. I'm just going to imperm your ass. Okay, that's interesting. Now Sword Soul need to be very careful they don't play anything into the imperm column. We all know it's happened. So that's going to be cool. I don't know where you kind of go from this. Because unless you got a long one in hand, which I'm probably assuming that Mo Yi into Chi-Sha is what you were trying to get to. The only other option you have is you link the two together and go for the link 2. But even then, that's still... Oh, he got the emergence. All right, fine. Ha, Ash. Cool boy. Broken. Stop it. Okay, well, I mean, he's burnt out his entire hand. So unless that last card is a worm, he not gonna do nothing. Has to be a worm. Has to be able to resolve long one. And then he'll be in a better position because, I mean, you've got two options there. You go for Baron to pop a card and then negate a card. I just going straight for... Yeah, obviously it's not a worm then. If it's not a worm, then I kind of have to go with Blackout. The issue is Dora's just going to protect everything. So, battle phase, Mo Yi into Goliath to get 700 damage on the board. Set 2, oh, it can't be double. That's got to be an imperm and a Blackout. I guarantee it. Maybe he doesn't have Citadel in the grave. Maybe Citadel didn't get sent or he shuffled it back. Interesting he didn't bring it back when Goliath came, because then you bring it back and then you Raigeki the board and then that Blackout is 100% dead. Maybe that was a misplay if it's in the grave. If it's not in the grave, then carry on as usual. So first step is Special Summon Regulus. So it targets as cost, but even if the target is removed, it still summons, which is really, really cool. This is why I love the Furions. I think the Furions are really fun. He's then going to use the Gear Frames effect to special on itself, which is awesome because then with pretty much anything on his board, he can start making Link 2s as well. It's a shame that Gear Frame, well, it is a shame that Gear Frame only triggers on normal summon, but then obviously it's good that it only triggers on normal summon. Otherwise, a play like this would just be an endless loop, which is just absolutely disgusting. So, River Stormer, detach the search. That's definitely an imperm. Has to be an imperm. Lets the search go through, which is right. I mean, no normal summon's been committed here. You've got Regulus to negate. Obviously, he knows... Earth Machine know that there is a Blackout there. So, there's a Blackout that's going to attempt to destroy 2 cards. Now, I believe... I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, but if Fortress is targeted for an effect or destroyed by an opponent's card effect, it rip one from the hand, which is completely pointless anyway. You target Dora, it just protects. You target Regulus, it'll probably negate. So, it's interesting that he chooses to use Dora now. I mean, it's not the end of the world because he just changed... Oh, he changed the Blackout. Okay. Oh, Drop Blitz. Broken. I'm assuming there should have been a response window for Blackout. Because it should, in theory, go back to turn player. So, it's obviously used the effect of Dora. I'm not too sure exactly what he's tried to protect. And I think we're just kind of... yeah, we're trying to... I believe I get called over in a minute to look at this. And revert to figure out what's going on here. So, it's like Dora's used the effect, which is fine. Chain Blackout, which is also fine. And then it goes... So, he targets Dora and... the River Stormer, which is good, which is completely fine. And then Chain Droplet. But it would have returned to Earth Machine to activate Regulus. So, Regulus was then... Did he return Regulus to hand? I can't remember. Regulus should be in Graveyard. Should be the way it works. They pretty much scoop it up anyway. But yeah, regular should have gone into hand, which negates the blackout. He could have then chained the droplet, but it wouldn't have got him anywhere. Game was still on board from that point on, to be fair, considering a normal summon hadn't been conducted. Anyway, moving into game 2, it is now going to be Sword Soul that takes the going head. I mean, Sword Soul are such like a risk and reward deck, and what I mean by that is like the majority of the time you'll get hands where you make Baron, Chi Zhao, Blackout, pretty standard. You'll get hands where you'll make Baron, Chi Zhao, Blackout, and Berserker, and then you'll get hands where you'll just go Monk Pass. Like, they happen. It's very tragic, but it happens. Anyway, he opens up with Ashuna, summons down the Ashuna, turns it into Monk, activates Emergence, searches out Mo Yi. Obviously, we know what's going to happen here. Well, I hope we know what's going to happen here. Mo Yi's probably going to be normal summoned. It's going to reveal a Tenyi or a Sword Soul in hand, which I believe was Tyre. Spawn a token, link it to Chi Zhao, 1 on Chi Zhao, 2 on Mo Yi. Mo Yi gives a draw, and then Chi Zhao gives it a search. I'm assuming if he's obviously revealed a Sword Soul or a... he went for Blackout. Okay, fair enough. I was going to say, like, he's obviously revealed a... If it was a long one that he revealed, then he's pretty much got full combo, which is mad. Yeah, it was a long one. Adhara, broken. Have to go Baron here. Yeah. So the other way around you do it is you'd summon down long one, and then you make the Chi Zhao. God, there's too many of them. But basically, that one would then let him get a draw 2 off of the Chi Zhao, which is really cool. We're going to banish the Ashuna. We're going to summon out the water one, the Shafana. Not too sure. Hang on, how's he done that? Oh, Monk, Doi. I was like, there's no token on the board. Oh, it's got Monk. Okay. Now, the really good thing is if he had banished the Blackout off of Chi Zhao, he would have got another token, so we could have made another level 8, which would have been pretty cool. But if he can get that, I think he's messed himself up by putting the Baron below the Monk, because what I would have liked to have done is I would have turned the Shafana into a Monk as well, and then straight away your Blackout becomes technically like a pop 3, I believe. So that's pretty cool, because then what you do is you pop your own Monk, destroy 2 of your opponents, and then because Shafana's in the graveyard, you can banish that to revive a Monk and go again. So that's pretty cool. Fairly decent board. Obviously, we know there's a Blackout. We know, I would assume there's an Imperm back there, or a Droplet. And then the question is, does he have an Ash in hand? The answer is no. And he discarded Fortress as well. Oh, it looks like it was a circle that's set, and we definitely know Ashuna's in hand. So he's Baroned it. Okay, interesting. So he's Baroned that. Keep in mind as well, Sword Soul, not Sword Soul. Earth Machine is down 1200. Ha, broken. Regulus target Fortress. Okay, Heavenly Circle. That makes sense as to why he left it on the board. I mean, you still could have done it with the second Monk, and it would have got you a bit more advantage because you could actually special summon it, I believe, which then would have allowed you to trigger Mo Yi and give you a token, which again would have been pretty cool. It just gives you more monsters on the board for your opponent to have to deal with. Search out of a shooter. Interesting. We've got an Omni Negate Regulus on the board. No normal summon conducted. Oh, there you go. There's your normal summon of Harvester. That's probably going to be met... Oh, gets met with Blackout. That's an interesting one. Don't know why you wouldn't go Chi Zhao. I mean, I know he's going for the Shafana, but again, that would be pretty pointless because everything is going to go. So... if he doesn't... I can see both ways of this, because if he doesn't send the Regulus to negate that, then Chi Zhao can negate the Regulus. And then it ends up in the same outcome anyway. If he does send the Regulus, then he can still chain Chi Zhao if he wanted to, and then still negate the Harvester. So the whole board pretty just flops. Hang on, wait. Where did Monk go? What's going on? Okay, Blackout target 2. Blackout target 2. And then send Regulus as cost to negate the blackout. Yeah, here we go. That would be right. Yeah, so you send Regulus as cost to attempt to negate the blackout. Blackout physical. I don't know why Monk dies. Monk should still be there. Because it is completely negated. Yeah, there we go. Monk's back. Come back, Monk. A Harvester still resolves. Like, this is what I'm saying. I think a Chi Zhao... I suppose the only downside for Chi Zhao is if he did Regulus that, then it'd be a take for take. Isn't Derek Crane on summon? It's a new chain. It's an if effect, so it'd be on a new chain after all this madness has happened. It just seems like there was a lot more because of the break in play. What's going on now? Shija. Oh, okay. I think he's used the effect of Harvester to try and make it level 10. Dozer comes down. Yeah, should have negated the Harvester the first time. Here comes Trencher into River Stormer. River Stormer to get you a free search. Then turn River Stormer into Goliath. And then pretty much go wombo combo from there. Oh, I went for Bullet. So we went for Bullet. Special the Bullet. Overlay into... This has got to be like the OTK play, right? Yeah, there we go. Gustav Max. Gustav Max burn for 2k. What are we sitting on now? Pops the Baron because of the Derek Crane. Rankle Tot into Lebel. Lebel's effect makes it 6k. It can attack twice, I believe. And this is where he made the rookie mistake. He killed the monk first. Killed the monk first. No, always leave the monk alone if Shafana's in the grave. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. So basically what's happened is Lebel has attacked into Shafana, Monk, sorry. Used Shafana's effect in graveyard to banish itself. It should be reviving the monk. And it will let you destroy... I believe it destroys the monster or a monster your opponent controls. I'm pretty sure it's the monster that made the attack. So you kill the Lebel, which is great because it means nothing else can attack. Monk should definitely be coming back. But it's a you can. So technically, you don't have to summon back the monster. I believe it's a destroy, and then you can summon back the destroyed monster. So it would have just given him a free monk, which would have been very helpful for all of his Tenyis in the hand, which I believe we know Vishuda is one of them. Because at this current moment in time, there is no way for him to get a Vishuda to the board unless he normal summons a Mo Yi, Longwan, or Tai. So this is already developing quite nicely. So a couple of little misplays, but you know, the hopes of these videos is the duelists that played in them can watch them back and then go, okay, now that someone else is commenting over my moves, I can either explain why I went a particular route, or I then see how I missed something and can learn not to do that or learn from it again in the future. Okay. Here comes Fortress. God, that card is so annoying. Because it's old as well. And because it's old, it's not a once per turn. You can just keep coming back as long as you've got the machines to send with it. It's just bonkers. And now it's all about walling up. Now, we've seen a long one burn for 1200. We've then seen a Lebel punch a monk for 5,000. So it would be a 6,800 to 2,000? 3,000. How did I not know what 5,000? That's embarrassing. 5,000 from 8,000. Very simple. 2 plus 2 is 4. Minus 1, that's 3. Quick maths. Couldn't even get that one right. Okay, cool. So, moving on. Where are we on? So we're on Sword Soul. It's got the blackout in the graveyard, so a tie would... Oh, okay. He's going to go that way. So he's gone Chi Zhao target. Chi Zhao target. To banish the blackout to get a token. Special summon, well, not special summon, but send the Ashuna. special out the shooter. He's going for Psychic Aim Punisher. Lol, I love that card so much. Such a good card. Well, I assume he's going for Psychic Aim Punisher. Let's find out. Baxia. What? No, go Psychic Aim Punisher. That's more fun. So much more fun. I'm so confused. What? Oh, did he just normal summon the Adhara? Oh, that's tragic. I mean, it clears the board, which is completely fine. But Psychic Aim Punisher would have got... Oh, no, both of them were in defense. If he... No, because then what you do is you go Psychic Aim Punisher, right? You normal summon the Adhara, use the effect of Psychic Aim Punisher, pay 1,000 life points to target the Adhara, and banish Adhara plus the Fortress. Then you go to battle phase. At the start of the battle phase, use Psychic Aim Punisher's effect. Life point difference would still be 5,000, so Psychic Aim goes up to 83. You would then use Chi Jia to attack the River Stormer in defense. Now, the only way that this changes is if there's a Citadel in the graveyard. Wow. That was a massive bit of lightning as I'm recording. And I felt that shake the entire house. It means I'm right next to it. So, I think that's literally just triggered my car as well. That's going to be interesting. Right, okay, so after that one, we're coming straight back. But yeah, I believe the Psychic Aim Punisher, it would have worked that way. So then it would have guaranteed game. So we're now, instead, we're going Baxia. Maybe he doesn't play Psychic Aim Punisher. Oh, was he locked into Worms? He might have been locked into Worms. Oh yeah, he would have been locked into Worms because he's Shuna. Oh, that's such a shame. Anyway, okay, Baxia, pop the token, go into Chao Fen. Easy, that's an interesting one. Locking his opponent out of light. I suppose he doesn't get, guarantees he doesn't get nibbed. And then 6-8, take away 2-9. Is it 2-9? 2-8? 2-8, 2-9, so 2-8. 4,000. So his opponent's on like, it's 2-9 on Chao Feng, I swear. So he's on 1,100. So it's 1,100 versus 3,000, right? Unless he already took damage early on. I can't remember if he did. Take 2,000 damage or anything? Don't believe he did. So on the ad of Harvester, we're Droll and Lockbirding. So now getting into the crunch time. I think there's like 5 minutes, maybe a little bit more on time. Dozer. Opened up the Dozer. Dozer is such a good card. It just sucks if it gets stopped. Which is exactly what's going to happen here. So Chi Zhao is going to banish. Banish to negate. Where do you go from here then? So you've conducted normal. You've specialed the Search of a Harvester. So there's 2 or 3 cards in hand that aren't... Like, you can't normal, you can't special. Squeaky bum, Twitch time. I mean, this is only game 2 as well, remember? So game 1 was won by Earth Machine. He's got another one? Oh my god, he got Trencher as well. This is mad. Absolutely mad. His hand's cracked. Could you just go Trencher, and then I suppose you turn it into a Goliath and then use Trencher's effect from the grave to revive. I assume that's what he's going to try and do. Yeah, it must be. So Trencher into Goliath. Trencher's effect. I don't know what targets he has to bring back. I mean, he's on the Droll, so that's going to slow a lot of this down. Brings back the Dozer. But then where does his... Unless he's got another like level 5 that contribute to summon to get into a River Stormer, but even then you can't search. So you'd probably have to go River Stormer, attack, survive that battle, which I'm pretty sure River Stormer isn't 28 or higher, to make Zeus, and then build on it from there. But I honestly can't see how that happens. Like, this only really has one outcome. Anger Knuckle. Alright, fair enough. Anger Knuckle should be fairly decent. He's going to use the effect to discard to bring back Citadel. Dog's going mad with the cat. But that's a pretty good summon back a Citadel. Okay, so we're moving back. We're now getting close to time. I believe there's like 100 life points difference in it. Just goes battle phase, Chow Feng, attack, game. So time's going to get called. There's no time for game 3. So that was a draw on that one. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it's given you a couple of ideas. Hope it's kind of shown you how good Earth machines are, because I can't wait to see them. But yeah, until next time, guys, as absolutely always, stay safe. And of course, happy dueling.